Well, hello and welcome to Knife Delights. Folks, I really hit the jackpot today. I was at my favorite local antique store, Collector's Cove. I've done a video on Collector's Cove before. You'll have to check that out. I'll put a link to that down in the description box. The folks are so friendly, so good. But I've bought so many of my antique and vintage knives there at Collector's Cove, and I went in there today, Mrs. KD and I, and found this whole basket, and they had it marked at, the vendor had them marked $10 each, or 3 for $25. And I'd picked out 5 or 6 knives, and boy, I'm thinking, man, I could just buy so many of these. And the vendor happened to be there, and I got to talking to him, and, you know, just on a whim, I said, well, what do you take for the batch? What do you take for the lot of them? And they were in, you know, in this wicker basket and everything, and so we kind of dickered a little bit back and forth, nothing serious, and I ended up buying the whole lot of knives. Now, I have not counted how many are in here, so I don't know how much per knife yet, but it's got to be under $5 a knife. And there are some real doozies in here, such as this one here. This is one of the Colonial Rangers, LB 125s. Look at this solid, high quality lockback knife. And there's lots of electrician's knives and just all kinds of neat things in here. This unnamed one, very unique. Well, I'll get into all of these. So what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to try to sort them out by kind of like a category and briefly go over what all is in this basket. Okay, here's our first batch of knives, the electrical knife based off the old TL29 pattern. So here we have a Holub out of Sycamore, Illinois. I had one of these, but it's got a different cover on it. But there's Holub. And this is a Colonial. And this one has a patent number on it, so we should be able to date this one pretty good. Here's another Colonial, only it's got the white covers to it, missing the clevis. Patent number on it. And we've got a Boker USA. Boker USA, I can't get that blade out. Pretty rusty, but we'll get it cleaned up. And here we got a 3-bladed Colonial. 3-bladed Colonial. And I believe I've got another 3-bladed. Anyway, 3-bladed Colonial. Different kind of covers on it. Okay. Oh, here's a 2-bladed Colonial advertising knife. Yep, they got improperly stored, didn't they? I think they'll clean up just fine. Here's a Camillus. Again, I think the clevis is broke off on the end. And another Camillus. I know you can tell the difference in Camillus by how many dots there are, or how many cover pins there are on it. So, yep. Here's a Cutmaster. I think I already have a Cutmaster, but I don't think I have it with this cover material. And I can't get that blade out yet. And this is an M. Klein & Sons, 2-bladed. And this one says Klein Tools, and it's a 3-bladed, but I can't get the 3rd blade out yet. Yep, half hawk on it. Isn't that cool? Here's another Klein Tools, 3-bladed, half hawk on it. Whoops. And I think that says Klein on it. I can't quite make that one out. I don't know what that one is. Here's one with wood handle to it instead of, yeah, it's rusted shut there. Oh, this is a Rick Knorr. I've got a couple other Rick Knorrs, but this one's an advertising one from Phoenix, Amfac Electrical Supply. Pretty rusty. Okay, Sheraton Valley Telephone Corporation. This is a Imperial USA. Can't get that second blade out, the screwdriver blade. Another Camillus. Can't get the second blade out. But I'll get it out. I'll get it out. I'll get it in working order. Another Colonial. And another Imperial. Yeah. As you can see, I mean, the blades on most of these, the knives are in good enough condition. We just got to get rid of that rust. And this is kind of a pruning knife, but electricians would use these kind of knives too with these hawk bill or half hawk. And this is a Klein Tools. I do have one like this already, but never hurts to have a second one. All right, that's it for my electrician's knives. All right, next up I went through and I think I've got all the Barlows pulled out. Here's a dandy. This is an Ideal. And I think it says my in script there, my Ideal, but the old Ideal Knife Company. Look at the difference in the jigging there. So yeah, an Ideal. Got a lot of Imperials. Here's an Imperial Ireland. Here is, I'm not sure, SF something. And it says Japan on the back. And what do we got here? Another Imperial. Is that USA? Yeah, I think it's an Imperial USA. A Colonial. Look at this little guy. I'm not sure who made this one. I'm not sure, but it's a tiny little one. Huh. And look at this, a Hammer brand. Yes, a Hammer brand. I love Hammer brand. And another Imperial, I believe it's USA. And my first Granddaddy Barlow. Now I fixed up a Granddaddy Barlow that John over at J.O. Ventures had. But yep, so this is a Sabre, Ireland. Sabre had knives made all over the world at different factories. So there's the Barlows out of the big basket. Okay, next we're going to go on to the Lockbacks. And I tell you what, there's some real gems in here. So this one here is called an Ultra Blade. Japan. It's a mid-lock. Got this one here, just says Inox, Soligen, Germany. So that means, excuse me, stainless steel, I think. No actual brand name. But look at the different lock here. And push down on that. Ha! I've never seen a locking knife like that. Okay, we got two little buck 425s. One's in really good condition, almost looks brand new, although dirty. But this one's been used a little bit. But a couple of little 425s here. Love them little bucks, you bet. Here's an edge mark. There's a model number. 440 stainless, Japan. Okay, got a little Smith & Wesson here. First production run, Scrimshaw. Wow. Got the bucks out there, battling bucks. Here's an Imperial Ireland, and I think it probably was like an advertising. It looks like there's something missing out of here. I've got one of these models, I believe, because it's a Zytel. Usually the covers or handles the same on both, but that's all smooth. But I think I have this model, and it's out of the I want to say the Apex series from Imperial Ireland. Here, look at this. Look at this Colonial Ranger. LB 125. Colonial Ranger. What a lockback, huh? It's an advertising knife. And I got another Colonial here. Colonial stainless. Yeah, wonderful. These are going to clean up really nice. Okay, got a Schrade. And this is the SP7. This is from the 90s, I believe. Got another little Schrade here. And this is the SP2. Yep, nice little Schrade. Okay, oh, here's another one of those Imperial Irelands. Is that the same knife? I think it is. Yeah, see, it's got the Zytel, rough Zytel on both sides. This is a Dux Unlimited. Yeah, these are really lightweight knives. They were budget knives and they're lightweight. Of course, another Imperial, one of the Diamond Edge series. Another, this is from Bass Pro Shops. So, another nice little pocket dropper lockback, and it don't want to close up. We'll set that aside. Here's one of those little budget Pakistan knives. You can find these all over the place. Smith & Wesson, Yellowstone National Park. Big old bear on it. And check this out. This is a Zippo from Bradford, Pennsylvania. Trap Cove. Yeah. Cool. And then I think the last four here are Gerbers. Somebody liked Gerber. So this is the Gerber 400. Portland, Oregon. So these are older ones. This one here, that's the 500. And this one here is the 425. And what's this one here? Okay, 97223. Wow, what a bunch of great lockback. Next, we're going to go through kind of the traditional pocket knives. I'm going to have to go fast because there's a lot of them here. Here's a J.A. Henkel's out of Germany. It's bone. Unfortunately, the bone is cracked on the back side, but got that one. Got a Colonial here, two-bladed jackknife. I had a half stop in it. Advertising knife, something Brown and Company. Then it says press blankets here. And not sure the company on that one. Here's a Imperial USA, one of the old Diamond Edge. I think I have one with similar covers on it. It's a Stockman. What do we got here? Not sure. I think it's out of Germany, I think. I can't read it. Not sure. Single-bladed jackknife there. Another J.A. Henkel's. This one's been used. It's really sharpened down. Imperial Ireland. I believe this to be a Colonial because of the USA on there. Single-bladed jackknife. Nice big blade on there, though, isn't there? And there's a lot of... Doesn't even look used. Just looks dirty. Moving right along. This one made in Germany. Kind of a pen knife. Another Imperial Ireland. Dux Unlimited advertising knife. Single-bladed jack. And a pine knot. And if I remember right, pine knot was made by Colonial also. I'm not quite sure. But a really nice Stockman here. It says truck driver on it. Yeah, just really nice Stockman. Big, beefy Stockman. We got us a trapper here. It says Vernon. Not familiar with Vernon. Vernon, Ireland, stainless. So, a new trapper. This is an old one. One blade is broke. Oh, well, I was happy. Remember, I just did the store brands video, and I was talking about one of the companies, and they used OVB for our very best. Well, there's one of those tang stamps. Although the knife is shot, one blade is broke, and that's been used. I just need to see the tang stamp. Here's another Colonial, two-bladed jack. Half stops in that one. Kind of interesting colors. That must be a stain there. And I'm not quite sure. I can't quite read that tang stamp yet, but I'll get it figured out. Nice little pen knife. Here's a half Congress by Imperial. And not sure what this is. It says USA, probably a Colonial, two-bladed. This is nice because the blade is actually not in too bad a shape. This is a good parts knife. Another big Colonial here, I believe. And we got a patent number on there, so I should be able to identify it. But big, thick blade there, spear point. Another Imperial, two-bladed jack. And another Imperial USA. And Puerto Rico. Souvenir knife. Here's an interesting one. Erickson's Furniture and Carpets. It's got a cap lifter, screwdriver. And another one of those Ideal knives. I love the Ideals. Erickson's Furniture and Carpets. Half stop in there. Another souvenir knife. Souvenir of Iowa City, Iowa. Nice little pen knife here. And it says Imperial. I can't quite tell. It says Imperial something there. I'll get that figured out. Operation Desert Storm. Now, I was not in Desert Storm, to be clear. I was in Desert Shield, which was the operation just before Desert Storm. But that's a nice military-themed knife to have. And it says Bear Winter or something on there. And then Pakistan on the back. So, just a nice military-themed knife. One of the little boys' knives in very good condition. It just needs cleaned. Imperial, USA. Little Cutmaster pen knife. And not sure what this one is. Another pen knife. That one's really rusty. Got a fruit tester knife. Yep. And this is out of Sabre Stainless, Japan. Another little Imperial. Looks like a peanut here. Yep. And another Imperial. Got the stork on it. Florida. You can see I got my work cut out for me. Got patent numbers on the back. Just USA there. I'm assuming that's another Colonial pen knife. And here we got us a Colonial two-bladed jack. Pretty good condition, this one. Yeah. Another Imperial two-bladed jack. Another Cutmaster Peanut, two-bladed jack. Very nice. That one's in pretty good condition. Look at this. Smoky Mountain Knife Works. Is that 25th anniversary? I can't read it through the camera. Novelty Knife Company. Cool. Okay, another Imperial pen knife. Imperial USA. Not sure on this one. Can't quite read that yet. A little pen knife. Single bladed. Imperial Ireland. And another pen knife. Can't quite read it yet. I have to get that one cleaned off. Can't quite read this one out either. But the blade doesn't look to be too bad. Just needs... Oh, you know what? This is a cattle knife. You got two blades stuck together there. So this is a cattle knife. This will be fun to bring back to life. See, both the blades there are stuck together. Can't get this one open. Just a little pen knife. Again, another little pen knife. Can't get it open. A little pen knife. Pen knife. This is a Thornton. I have one other Thornton. I have a toothpick by Thornton. Single-bladed knife there. Wow. I don't know. I'll get that one open. Double-bladed jack here. Can't get it open. Another little pen knife, probably Imperial or Colonial. Same with that one. Here's a little Colonial, like a large peanut. It's too big to be considered a peanut, I believe, but it's like a large peanut frame. Look at nice and thin here, single back spring, but just a nice pen knife here. Who made this one? I can't read that. Something Chicago, Illinois. I can't quite read the tang stamp. I have to figure that one out. Yep, some more pen knives here. And this little tiny thing here. Okay. Wow, that's a lot of slip joints. Okay, next we're going to do kind of, well, knives with tools to them. Kind of like multi-tool knives. Where do we start? This is interesting right here. This is a Dutch Army knife. The KL61. Made by AMEFA. So I got to do some more research on this. But this is like a Dutch Army knife. We got this little knife here. This is a patented by Providence Cutlery Company. You can see you got your cap lifter on it. Now, a lot of the younger viewers don't realize you used to have a cap lifter with you because we didn't have twist off caps. And if you wanted to open up your soda pop, you needed a cap lifter. So just a nice little knife there, pocket knife there. We've got this here, and I can make out made in Germany, but it's a tourist knife there. Got your corkscrew. These are always interested here, and I think it says Lark there is the maker. There's some more markings there I'll have to get to, but again, you got your cap lifter built in with your knife blade there. Very important in the old days. Here's a neat little knife here too. And this is another Ideal, and it's in pretty good shape. I got a couple little rusty spots to get off, but the covers are just gorgeous on this one. But once again, this is what gentlemen would carry in their pocket because you got your cap lifter. You bet. All right, this is a Camillus, and the USA stands for United States Army. And this was a military contract. It was called an engineer's knife. So this pattern goes by lots of different names, camp knife, scout knife, utility knife. But under the contract, it was called an engineer's knife. So, yeah, it's World War II era. It could have been made post-World War II. It does have the brass liners, but I'll get to working on dating on that one. Of course, we all know about the little Victorinox there. Here's another interesting one here. It says ICAR Rost Fry. So I don't know if this is another military style knife or not. But got your corkscrew. Got one more blade back here yet. Yep, corkscrew, punch or awl, your saw, cap lifter, screwdriver, and knife. So that might be a military issue knife also. Don't know. Has the markings of it anyway. Then we get to this beast. And there, I have not found any kind of a maker's mark on this thing yet. But this has the hallmarks of a military, like a European military issue type knife. Kind of crude in construction, but very heavy duty. This thing is heavy duty. So you got your saw, nice big drop point blade there, and a punch there. So yeah, this is a heavy, heavy duty one. I'm thinking it's a military. Oh, nice half stop. I'm thinking it's a military type issue knife. Okay, this one here, I do know that this is well, they made them as a sailor's knife. It's another military, European style military knife that used to get issued out. Of course, you got this big thing here. That's for opening big tins and stuff. And of course, that big blade there. And this one is made by, I can't read it, Korean, I don't know. I'll have to figure that one out. Then we have this little, this is a cute little thing, this little tool kit. This was made by Imperial, so you could put different attachments in the opposite end. I'll be doing a review on that one. And then I got this hobo knife here, and this is a Colonial. And I'm telling you, I had one just about just like this as a kid. I really did. I don't know what happened to it, but yep, hobo knife. And then we got another hobo knife here. The covers come off of it. Got to replace the covers on it. And this is another Colonial hobo knife. And I think that's it for these. Okay, we're getting close to being done here. Here's kind of some gentlemen's or grooming knives. These were popular. Gentlemen used to carry these. You'd have a nail file, knife blade, pair of scissors. I guess that's a little screwdriver blade is what that is. The covers on this one are in pretty bad shape. Here's a little tourist knife, Iowa. Little jackknife, double-ended jack. Another grooming knife. Not sure where this just says stainless Japan. A lot of these came out of Japan and Germany. And here's another one here. Notice always the cap lifter. Okay, that's those. Next, some modern knives. We got this Bear. Not sure. Little liner lock there. Looks like bone there. Here's a couple of very interesting knives. I've never seen these before. This is called a Neely lock. And there's two different models. This one does not have a pocket clip. This one does. This one has kind of a hollow grind. This more of a flat grind. But look, you pull the blade out slightly. Let's see, yeah. Pull the blade out and then it unlocks and you fold it. So it's called a Neely lock and it's got a patent number on there. I've never seen those before. Got a Stanley utility knife there. This just says stainless steel 420 on it. Advertising knife. Aluminum. Kind of a novelty truck stop knife here. Designed by Tom Anderson. What is that? Master Cutlery. It's designed like a dagger, but only one side is sharpened, so a true dagger has an edge on both sides. It's a liner lock. Here's a Boy Scout knife made by Imperial. This came out of a mess kit. BSA. This just says Sheffield on it, so I don't know who the maker is. Very nice covers. Very nice covers to it. Little liner lock. And last but not least, we have this Opinel number 6, I think it is. And it looks brand new. Needs cleaned a little bit, but I don't think it's hardly been used. So a nice Opinel knife. Wow, what a whole bunch of knives there, huh, folks? Well, if you've stuck around this long, well, you're a true cutlery fan and a true historian to hang with me as I go through all of these wonderful knives. So until next time, have a very delightful day.